What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse ranch no hate. So we're talking about Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. And to the spectators that like to fake news, fake news. Well, whoever you name the speaking about in your response, I don't even know who the fuck those people are. Okay, as far as Keith Thurman's strength and conditioning coach, okay, there was a tweet that I saw that basically his strength and conditioning coach was supposedly, okay, said, because I don't know these people personally, and I'm not sitting up here, is this a real account? Is this a fake account? I don't know these people, okay, but what was said on the tweet that I saw was Keith is struggling a little with his strength and conditioning right now. He has a lot of weight to lose, but we'll get to where we need to get to. That's what I saw. So whoever made videos and said whatever, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, so I don't make videos based on somebody else's videos, unless it's coming from a source of news where the person is speaking. So let's say allegedly, okay. And as far as Keith Thurman himself, Keith Thurman has said not too long ago, and he said in the past, he actually goes up to like 190. Okay, so when you hear me saying, I don't know if Keith Thurman is out because of injury, letting his body heal, or if it's he lost his passion, I don't know. You hear me clearly say that. So don't be so fucking anal and try to, but where'd you hear that? Where did fucking idiot? If I said it, I heard it or saw it. Maybe from a source you're not familiar with, okay? I gain nothing from this shit, from sitting up here making lies up or making up stories. I don't sit here and create shit and say, this is what I think. If I'm telling you what I think, I'll say what I think. Did you hear Keith Thurman deny anything? So now for everybody, and I noticed to realize this morning as well, everybody's jumping on that same topic. I know what I saw. Just like when Deontay Wilder said his costume was too heavy, and I had a bunch of morons, where'd you hear that? I never heard that. All of a sudden, that video disappeared. But guess what? That video resurfaced. And you know what? Good old Aries said, let me put this right back on my motherfucking page so everybody can hear it. Because I don't have time for this dumb shit. So all that elementary shit, take that bullshit somewhere else. Okay. Now, on to Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Okay. Let me say this in terms of fans. Okay. And in terms of Keith Thurman picking Mario Barrios as an opponent. First off, Mario Barrios, he's a good fighter. When he fought Tank Davis, for the fans that was not familiar with Mario Barrios, they were all saying, Tank going up to fight some bum. I don't even know this guy. First off, y'all call guys bums that are champions. And because you're not familiar with them, they're bums. Mario Barrios is no bum. He's a good fighter, okay? He's not a Lomachenko. He's not a Kambosos. He's a good fighter. This guy, if you remember, they had so many fighters, so many trainers saying they think Mario Barrios is going to beat Tank. I think his size, he's too big, and the kid can fight. He has speed, he has power, he has good ring IQ. I think Tank is bitten off a little more than he can chew this time. Yeah, Mario Barrios is this and this. Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia, all these different fighters, Danny Garcia, all these different fighters, all these different trainers, different managers, always picking Mario Barrios to beat Tank. Tank beats him. All of a sudden there's excuses as to why Tank won. Or now all of a sudden Mario Barrios is overrated. Okay. Well, here's the deal. Mario Barrios got knocked out by Tank, who was coming up from 135 pounds. Okay, and he knocked Mario Barrios out and took his title. I think Mario Barrios can fight. That doesn't change the fact that he's a good fighter because he got knocked out. But here's what I'm saying. Keith Thurman is coming back. He's fighting a guy that's coming off of a knockout loss to a 135-pounder. Now he's going up. Now they fought at 140, but Tank came up from 135. We've had fighters come up in weight because they simply can't cut that weight anymore, but these guys could actually fight 2-3 divisions higher than what they actually fight and still be extremely successful. simply because their power will carry over because they're naturally bigger and stronger. Mario Barrios, okay, got knocked out by Tank. So how is it that Tank cherry picked an overrated fighter, but all of a sudden people are now, I'm noticing all the praise they're giving Mario Barrios? This is the Keith Thurman fans. Why? Because they don't want to say this is a cherry pick. They're trying to make this like it's the equivalent of Errol Spence coming back after his car accident and fighting Danny Garcia. No, because Mario Barrios is not as good as Danny Garcia. Stop playing. Okay, and not to mention, okay, people do know who Danny Garcia is. Okay, every welterweight fan, all the welterweight fans that's into boxing that has been watching the welterweights know who Danny Garcia is. Okay, but regardless, how is this all of a sudden now? Oh, this is a great fight. Because if you say, oh, now you realize if you continue to say Mario Barrios is trash, then how the fuck are you praising Keith Thurman for picking a guy that's coming up from 140 to 147 that just got knocked out by a 135 pounder? Okay, and this is preparation for Terrence Crawford? And he's saying after this fight, he wants Terrence Crawford. Okay, see, here's my problem with boxing. I'm not going to knock the fighter for wanting what he wants. But Keith Thurman needs to come back and earn his spot. Keith Thurman is coming off of a knockout loss to a 40, 41, whatever Pacquiao was 40, that he called a rabbit. There's no way I'm going to lose to a rabbit, a 40-year-old rabbit. He was so confident, so cocky. He got knocked down in the first round. Pretty much got beat up, got embarrassed. Okay, I'm pretty sure his pride was hurt. I'm pretty sure he felt embarrassed. And he knew he didn't back up none of that stuff he was saying. And then people even made stupid comments like, yeah, but what can you say? Pacquiao was still good. Okay, well, isn't that the point? You want to fight a guy while he's still on top? No, Keith thought he was going to fight a guy that was 40, that was past his prime, but the people were still behind him. He still had popularity, and that this was going to elevate him to the next level, and it backfired. Simple as that. So now, for him to come off of a loss and then disappear all this time, well, that's the only thing that he has in common with Mario Barrios, is that they're both coming out of a loss. Okay, and for Mario Barrios, a knockout loss. Well, Mario Barrios fought a guy that's not over the hill. Okay, he fought a guy that's in his prime. Manny Pacquiao, I said this before, I always saw him and Floyd as levels above Thurman and the rest of that group. Okay, and to be honest with you, if you look at what's going on in boxing right now, people are just being handed shit. They're just basically, they don't have to work their way up for it. I'm not talking about the Dillian White situation or like the Devin Haney situation where possibly if Fury vacates the title because of him and White not being able to come to terms for their fight, and Lomachenko vacating his belt to become that invisible belt, franchise champion, whatever. I'm talking just in terms of popularity. Certain guys are able to just get certain fights, and it's like, no, you have to fight for this shit. You need to come back and fight for it. Now, here's what I'm saying, right? For all of the people that saying shit like Conor Benn, Virgil Ortiz, and Jaron Ennis is not on the level of a Keith Thurman, of a Sean Porter, of a Terrence Crawford. Well, then, wouldn't it make more sense for Keith Thurman to come back and say, nah, I'm going to fight this guy, Jaron Ennis. I'm going to fight one of those guys in my comeback. Why? They're not on my level, but they are in my division. So if those guys are not as good as you guys claim that they are, that they're not, you're saying they're not that good yet, they're on the come up, it would be far more respected if Keith Thurman came back and fought one of those guys who are already in the division. Okay? Versus him coming back, fighting a guy that's coming out of a knockout loss, just coming up to 147 to prepare for a Terrence Crawford. Yeah, Terrence Crawford came up from 140, but again, Terrence Crawford, listen, you can throw all that shit out the window. When a fighter comes up, it's not like Mario Barrios just came up to 147 and just started terrorizing shit. And he's like, no, this is his first fight coming back after getting knocked out. So what does this prove? Now, the worst thing that could happen is that Keith Thurman lose this fight. Or let's say he win, but he looks bad. Like, man, he struggled to beat this guy. And people are definitely going to look at that tape. What if he doesn't knock him out? You don't think people are going to look at him and say, yo, Tank Davis knocked him out. You didn't. So what if he doesn't knock Mario Barrios out? That warrants him to have a fight automatically. All of a sudden, he gets elevated up to fight a Terrence Crawford. Well, not that I agree with everything Timothy Bradley says, because I certainly don't. Because Timothy Bradley a lot of times say some things it's like, okay, all right, whatever. Let's just hear what Tim has to say about this situation.
What do you think about the recent announcement that Barrios will be fighting
That's hilarious. Because they were talking about Tank Thurman. I'm in love with y'all this man. Keith Thurman, man. Come on, Keith.
He's been out a lot.
What you doing, Keith? Man.
He's been out a long time. That's a nice comeback.
Mercenary now. Mercenary. Huh? What Keith is all about that bread. That's it. Keith is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He looking for the fish to, similar to Mikey Garcia, same thing. Looking for the best fight, a fight that he know he can possibly win or maybe win, and then get the most money from. So Barrios is that guy.
Likely to fight Logan next.
I don't know.
And you know what? That's exactly what I feel. And that's the reason I played that clip, because I'm like, yeah, I think Keith is trying to get the most money against a respected guy, respectable guy, okay, that will give him the best chance to win. Before Keith Thurman, you know, I remember him saying some years ago, about, I'm fighting nothing but legends. I want nothing but legends. And at that time, you look around and you say, okay, so who are you talking about? Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez? Because those were the older guys that was still around at the time. And I'm saying, okay, all of a sudden he's just making his own little list of, okay, this is his little Christmas list. This is what I want. This is who I want. Okay. And I'm saying, okay, why are these guys constantly, and let's not, no. As a matter of fact, Floyd was even retired when he said this. So it's like, why is this guy constantly trying to fight older guys? See, you're trying to get that rub from the older fighters. That's for anyone who does this. You're trying to get that rub from the older fighters. But then the fighters that's in your age group, that's right there, that's a part of your new crop of fighters, you know, it's like you're more focused on trying to fight legends. See, and that's the thing. People think Father Time kicks in, and like I said, everybody doesn't get better at the same time. Everybody doesn't fall off at the same time. He thought he had Pacquiao. So if he lost to Pacquiao, and mind you, this was years before he fought Pacquiao when he said this. So imagine what Pacquiao would have did to him back then. Then you got the people going, no, but Keith was better than, he was hungrier than. See, Keith, when he got married, man, everything changed for him. That's not the fault or the concern of your opponent. Because all it takes for you to lose one key element that you need to be complete. That's all it takes. And if your focus and concentration is not there, okay, if your hunger is not there, if your determination is not there, if that grit is not there, that willingness that I'll take whatever punishment I can have to, but I'm going to give it back. If that's not there, if any of that is not there, all it takes is one of those elements to not be there. And that could be the difference in you winning or losing a fight. So in his comeback, like I said, I don't fault him for wanting to jump in there with Crawford. But, you know, if he really wants to fight Crawford, you know, you fought Sean, you know, you fought Danny. Okay. And basically he could have fought Errol Spence. He could have fought Terrence Crawford. But this is what happens when you're no longer the A side. Now you're desperate to try to fight whoever you can to try to get to that top prize. Why? Because it's real simple. You have no choice. You can't go in there trying to make these big demands or, oh, give me this or the fight's off. Man, you've been missing for the longest. You're the one that needs to come back and fight and be able to get into the right fights. You know, and all this, oh, he's 33. Well, Terrence Crawford is what, 33, 34? Only difference is Terrence has been active. So, like I said, I don't know what kept Keith out the ring all this time. But, it's irrelevant who you think is going to win. Oh, he'll beat Crawford. He'll beat, okay, whatever. Let's see. Let's see. The same way people are saying that if he lose, there's going to be excuses. Well, the layoff hurt him. Well, you know what? Again, you guys that keep shooting down the next group of fighters coming in so stupidly, instead of embracing it, yeah, okay, so the 147 looking good. We got a new batch of fighters coming in. Yeah, these guys are they're kicking ass. They're looking good. Nah, you want to break them down, critique their shit, and then make excuses for your fucking favorites. At the end of the motherfucking day, Keith Thurman should not, no fighter, okay? If it was Errol Spence, when Errol Spence said he's going to come back, and he said that he wants to fight nothing but the top guys, right? He's letting you know. And like you said, warm-ups are for guys who's not confident in themselves. I don't need no warm-up. I want to go straight to the top guys. So my point is, he came back and fought a top guy. And he didn't come off of a loss. He came out of a fucking horrific car accident. How do you get your ass kicked and then all of a sudden you're next in line for a title? Okay? We've seen the same thing happen with Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce wins the fight, but Daniel Dubois gets a shot at the WBA, a version of the WBA title. Deontay Wilder, he just got knocked out by Tyson Fury. But word is allegedly Tyson Fury, if Dillian White and Tyson Fury fight don't materialize, that we'll see, Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder. So now you get rewarded for losing fights. I mean, at the end of the day, what I'm basically saying is real simple. It's not about earning your spot if you have certain star power. It's already there. We see dollar signs, we'll throw you into that fight. And basically, if for me, like I said, if he was coming back fighting, since Conor Ben sucks so much, fight Conor Ben. Since Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Ennis, they're good, but they're not quite ready. Okay, well, fight them. Because I believe, especially Jerron Ennis, to me, I will put my money that Jerron Ennis can either defeat or at least hold his own where, that fight could have went either way against any of those top guys. Jerron Ennis, he has what it takes. So for the guys that say he's not that good, well, it's obvious the fighters that you cheer for don't think that. Otherwise, they've been there. You know what? That dude is fool. Let me get rid of him first. Let me get him out the way. Because they're only getting older. So if you're 30, 31 already and you're fighting a guy that's 26, 25, 26, that guy's younger than you. So if you try to wait until that guy ends up being 30 years old and then now you're 34, 35, don't come with that bullshit about, well, you know what, I'm not in my prime anymore. No. Fuck that. When you had the opportunity to fight him, and don't pull that shit about, people would have said he was too young. No, 26 years old. Stop playing. So when the fuck did your career start? All these damn excuses that people come up with. It is what it is. But understand, if Jerron Ennis, Conor Ben, Virgil Ortiz, and all these other young guys that's coming up, if those guys, can take the fuck, I don't believe in no passing the torch. They can light their own torch and make their own lane, and then it becomes a situation where these guys are fighting each other. They are willing to fight each other. If it comes to that, so be it. And that's what boxing needs. Because all of this, he's not ready. I don't think Rolly Romero is ready for any of the top 135 pounders. But you know what? He seems to talk a lot and run his mouth. So it's like, okay, well, I think he should fight, Jackson Martinez in a rematch. But he seems to, okay, so then you're saying you're ready. Your team think you're ready. Let's go. He was supposed to fight Tank, right? And all of a sudden, I'm going through this, charge. And my focus is, but yet he keeps running his mouth about everything. Everybody. Fuck this person. Tell that person to go fuck himself. He ain't shit. I'll knock him out. But yet you're not making any fucking advances to fight. Ryan Garcia is no different. He got so much mouth every time somebody fight. I do this, I do that. But yet, Mr. Mental Health Issues over there is not making any type of effort to get back in the ring with anybody. So all this talking, and sending tweets and all this shit, like I said, man, look, it is what it is. But I don't think that Keith Thurman should be able to just walk his way into a fight with Terrence Crawford. And even if he beats Mario Barrios convincingly, who the fuck imagines Mario Barrios beating Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence? You understand what I'm saying? And the guy just got knocked out by a 135-pounder. So at the end of the day, boxing needs to do better with how they're, trying to get these guys back in the ring. And I feel like Keith Thurman, like I said, is trying to maximize his dollars because there's no, and take less risk doing it. I guarantee you this. You guys are saying that Jaron Ennis is not ready. Conor Bennett's not ready. Okay, which one of y'all think that Mario Barrios will beat Jaron Ennis? Which one of y'all think he's a better or bigger threat than Jaron Ennis? I've never seen a generation of people so against putting the top fights on, but always claiming we want to see the best fight the best. But then when guys step up, they're not ready. Like I said, so nobody's ready until they're 30 nowadays, right? You got to be 30, 35 to be ready nowadays. So by the time you're ready, you're on your way out, according to these fucking boxers, these fans of boxers. Not boxing fans. Fight fans understand the difference. You boxer fans are the ones who, oh, this guy's not ready. He's not ready. Okay, Mr. Fucking, I know everything about boxing. Well, then when are they ready? When are they fucking ready? Imagine, let's see who, okay, so Anthony Joshua, instead of him coming back to fight, Usyk, he's going to have a warm-up with a bridgerweight guy. No, not even the bridgerweight guy. He's going to have a fight with a fucking cruiserweight that just moved up. And it just sounds weird saying bridgerweight anyway to somebody that's 224 pounds. But anyway, and then again, Usyk is not that big of a, well, he's around 220 something, okay? I think he came in his last fight at 230 or something like that. But bottom line, you know what I'm saying. You're going to come in here against a guy that's naturally way smaller. And we know that Usyk came up. But what people seem to forget is Usyk fought at heavyweight before. Then he went to cruiserweight. See, but people don't remember that shit. So this is not the first time he fought at heavyweight. I guess they decided it's probably he'd be more dominant at cruiserweight. And like I said, as you get older, your body starts filling out more. It's harder to start burning that weight. And then people move up. And to be honest with you, to stay at cruiserweight, because there's no names at cruiserweight. Cruiserweight division the cruiserweight division was never live. The cruiserweight division has always had a couple of people that might have stood out, and that was about it. Not even a handful of fighters, 2 or 3. And then it gets nowhere, man. So at the end of the day, for you to fight a guy, to prepare, unless, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of technical skills, Terrence Crawford, man, I don't see him being second to any other fighter in terms of him being a solid technical boxer. But at the end of the day, it's like, look, man, you're coming back to fight a guy that just got knocked out by Tank Davis, who was an incredible fighter, but 135 fighter. You're 147, walk around 190 fucking pounds, and most of these guys, like I tell you, walk around much heavier than the division that they fight in. But, you have to come in there. And I'm pretty sure, and you know what, too? He could have false confidence because Tank knocked him out. He's probably thinking, but I hit way harder than Tank. I know I could knock him out. You should. So beating Mario Barrios, what does it do for you? He just got his belt taken by Tank. So what does it do for you? And that's why I'm saying, when you guys are sitting here saying Jaron Ennis and all these guys are not ready, I guarantee you Terrence Crawford and all these other guys, I don't care how much shit they try to talk to try to look good going into a fight, but I guarantee you they sit back and they know, yeah, this guy's serious right here. Jaron Ennis right now is what Errol Spence was. I ain't care about all that boogeyman shit, but like he's that guy that these guys know, yeah, I don't want to get in there with this guy right now. They may not say it, but they know. Jaron Ennis' profile, he's not a popular fighter yet, but he has eyes on him. People know who he is. So what I'm saying, as far as generating a big fight, No, he's not there in terms of popularity, but in skill, oh, he's there. He's there. He's in his prime right now. And, I've seen him fight several times, and I'm watching how, and it's like, yeah, he's a problem for any of those guys. They know it. They know it. You can sit here and be fanboys and try to, oh, he ain't ready. Okay, bullshit. He's ready. And again, if he's not there, right, and the type of the momentum he's building, then that's who a guy like Keith Thurman should come back and fight. Just like Danny Garcia, just like Errol Spence coming back saying, no, I want the top guys. And here's the deal, y'all. For everybody talking that shit, he's not ready, we may find out a lot sooner than people think, because he's the number one ranked welterweight by the IBF. And in all sanctioning bodies, he's in the top 3. So at some point, he's going to have to fight Errol Spence. Now, if Errol Spence vacates that fucking belt and goes to 154 and don't fight Terrence Crawford, don't fight Jaron Ennis, what else can you say other than, the dude ducked, he ran? And Errol Spence is a guy like I said, I root for him whenever he fights. So should he beat Ugas, and he should beat the shit out of Ugas, he should knock Ugas out. Okay, and should he beat Ugas, he should knock him out, and he should knock him out early, truthfully. Because in all honesty, Ugas is a respectable fighter, but Ugas, he got a lot of holes in his fucking game too. And I saw the fight with him and Sean Porter, and that's why I said Sean Porter has heart and he comes to fight. But even Sean Porter got holes that people just didn't exploit a lot of times. I've seen a lot of holes in his game. So my thing is, for Errol Spence, who basically had a war with Sean Porter, he needs to get Ugas the fuck out of there. And then after that, okay, I have 3 belts. Okay, Terrence Crawford, I'm ready. Let's negotiate. Let's make this shit happen. But should he vacate that belt and go up? That's not respectable to me. But, yeah, I mean, he ain't got to do shit to suit me. I don't care personally. But given the boxing news and my views on it, and if that was to happen, well, then Terrence Crawford should do the honorable thing and say, nah, you know what, Jaron Ennis? I see you. I see you. Let's make it happen. Nobody wants to see Jaron Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, or Conor Benn, or any of these up-and-coming guys get a belt from a guy that's 36, 37 and past his prime. If you're 36, 37 and you still razor sharp and okay, fine. But unless you can pull a Pacquiao and still be 40 and still be better than these younger guys, I don't want to hear nothing about no fucking, oh, he waited till they got old bullshit. No, Jaron Ennis is not waiting for shit. Let's not get it twisted. It's these champions, these current guys, that's the one sitting back, not calling his name out and avoiding him. Like Keith Thurman tried to make it sound like he didn't know who Jaron Ennis was. Yeah, you don't know who he is. You know Mario Barrios, but you don't know Jaron Ennis. Yeah, you know who he is. But at the same time, everybody needs to work for their spot. And also, it's a disservice to these young fighters. Why? Because these guys are busting their ass fighting whatever fights they can get, trying to get there. Why you veteran guys are sitting back, injured all the time, on the shelf, don't know if you want to fight or not, all this bullshit. And then you can just come back and leapfrog over them because your name rings more bells. I don't think that is fair. So we'll see what happens. And like I said, I don't knock the fighters for trying to maximize their dollars and trying to get what they want to get. But, they don't call the shots. They can make requests, but these sanctioning bodies and these people that make the calls and that call the shots, you guys know damn well that shit is not fair. So anyway, for Keith Thurman, I hope that he wins the fight. Nothing against Mario Barrios, but I hope that Keith Thurman wins the fight. I hope he looks good winning, because there's still unfinished business at 147 with him, Errol Spence, with him, Terrence Crawford. What's going to happen is going to happen, and then we'll see. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.